Reaction is impulsive and response is thoughtful. Reaction says, I'm in this moment and I'm not thinking forward, and response is forward thinking and future tense. Reaction leaves people leaving unwhole and unhealthy, and response, it allows people to leave whole, feeling loved and seen. I choose response over reaction any day because reaction lets me know when I'm reacting that in this moment, I feel like nothing's going to change. It's impossible for this to change. And response lets me know, and it says, this too shall pass, and it'll always get better for me because everything works out for me. That's why I choose to respond, because I know who I am. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. So why would I stoop so low to make someone else feel bad about some emotions that I don't have control over? I'm going to respond. I'm going to take my time and think. And I hope you do that too. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to another moment with joy. Y'all, I'm so happy to share space and time with you guys again. And before we start, I really want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you share this episode with at least 2 people that are close to you. Go ahead, share it, and make sure they share it with 2 people that are close to them, because the message today is going to be pretty thought-provoking, if I may say so myself. So today, the topic is very personal to me because it's a lesson that I had to learn along my spiritual journey, and I was very sure that if I shared this message and shared my experience with it, that it would definitely help someone out there not make the same mistakes that I made. Today, we are talking about how to respond instead of react. We have to start responding instead of reacting. And y'all, my life was built around reaction. I reacted so much early on before I got, myself together and aligned with the Lord. Hallelujah. But reaction was home for me. And I can remember me and my best friend were living together at the time, and my son was living with us. And he was a little teeny bopper. He was a little baby. And of course, 2 years old to me is a little baby. So he was definitely walking and talking and doing things that big boys do. And my best friend, his godmama, she do what she want to do. Okay. And I know that, but I didn't allow my son to close car doors. And it was a big thing for me because, of course, my trauma, I smashed my finger a couple times and it hurts. So I just, as a kid, I'm like, he don't need to close the car door. If it's open, I'll open. If it needs to be closed, I'll close it. And that was my rule when it came to him. And this particular day we were leaving, and I can hear her in the garage say, "Paulie, close the door." And I go crazy. I react instantly, y'all. And I start screaming to the top of my lungs. I run out there. He is not allowed to close car doors. He is a baby. What if he smashes his finger? And she wouldn't listen to me, y'all. So my reaction, my anxiety, everything was through the roof because I didn't want anything to happen to my baby. Okay? So then we end up getting in the car anyway. And she's telling me how I need to calm down, how he's a big boy. And I'm like, no, he's my son, and what I say goes. And she's not listening to me, y'all. So y'all know what I do next? I react further. I take my phone and I throw it through her windshield, y'all. I'm not proud about it, but I did it. I reacted in that moment because the overflow of anxiety, fear, rejection, everything at that moment was heightened for me. And I wasn't mature enough at the time to know that this reaction is hurting everyone around me. And that's what reaction does. It leaves us feeling full of regret, full of pain from the fact that we hurt people that were very, very close to us. That's what reaction looks like. Instead of me taking my time and saying to my friend, that's not what I want. My fear is through the roof because I don't want my baby to be hurt. And there, I should have taken the time to think about how to respond to that situation versus reacting to that situation. So, Joy, people ask me, how can I respond and not react? The way that you can respond and not react is to understand the difference between responding and reaction and know the impact that both of them have. Okay? Reaction normally has a negative impact because those are our emotions. And we're just basing everything off of emotion at this point. And in that car, when I threw that phone through the windshield, I wasn't thinking about anything other than getting my point across and being heard and being seen. But I wasn't thinking about the future of anything in that moment or my son being in the back seat and how embarrassing and how bad that was for him to notice and see. And not even just him, me to recognize myself was a painful process. But once you realize that reaction only hurts you and everybody around you, you will learn to stop. And unlearning that is not an easy feat, but it does take time. But you could do it. We can all do it. So how can you not respond and react? Knowing who you are will help you respond and not react. Knowing who you are. And I use this analogy where reaction is the thermometer that lets you know what temperature's in the room. And it just goes with whatever is happening. It's going to give you the temperature for the car, the house, whatever it is. And I think response is the thermostat, which sets the temperature. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the one that just goes with everything, goes with the chaos, goes with the gossip, goes with the anxiety, goes with the fear? Or do you want to be the response that actually takes the time to set the tone, sit and get a real look at what's happening and approach it the best way? That's response. Reaction is impulsive. Response is thoughtful. And we want to do that. Most people react because it's a natural thing. When our emotions pop up, we want to tackle it right head on. I'm going to do it now. And back in the day, that was my thing. I used to be like, talk to me in the moment. Talk to me in the moment. And I've learned that when you give people the time and the space to process their thoughts and process their feelings, that the answer and the outcome is way better than I could have ever imagined. So I take the time to process what is happening now before I react. Okay? And sometimes, y'all, reaction is warranted. Sometimes you need to react. Our body even is wired to tell us when danger is around or happening to us. If you are in a relationship and it's abusive, baby, that man ain't supposed to be smacking you or hitting you. No, you need to react in that situation, and you need to get out. You need to leave. You need to go, ouch, that hurt. That's not a time to respond. That's a time to react, where reaction is needed. You touch a hot stove. You need to react and get up out of there. So reaction is needed when there's an emergency. But in non-emergency settings and in situations, take your time. Take your time to look at it and give yourself room to process. Everybody needs it. Give yourself room to process. Okay? So reaction is impulsive and response is thoughtful. When you take the time to think, guess what you're doing? You're allowing space and time for the positive to reign versus the negative. When I reacted and threw the phone in my friend's car, nothing can come of that was positive. And y'all, I ended up doing some other things too that I'm not even safe enough to say. Just know that the reaction spirit went further and further, and it only put me in more harm than I could have ever thought in that moment. And after that, I definitely sought help. When you're reacting and then you start putting yourself and other people in danger, please go talk to someone. And that's where I was. My friend definitely was probably looking at me at the time like, what in the world is happening? And the truth of the matter is, I wasn't being thoughtful. I was being impulsive. She didn't know that the weight of the world was on my shoulders, and neither did I feel safe enough to tell anybody at the time. I was a single mom. I was struggling, okay, just to stay happy. And reaction was home because I felt like that's how I could protect myself. And that's tons of people right now. I'm defending myself. I'm standing up for myself. But emotions, they're not logical most of the time. They're not logical. They're just like for the moment. Reaction is momentary. It's for the now. And response is like future forward thinking. Like, let me think about this. And I just remember always being in that impulsive state. And I thank God that he gave me the spirit to be still and to wait and to think about what I'm saying before I say it. So give yourself room to process. When we're giving ourselves room to process, we have to go where it's safe. It's not always the best thing to process your perspective by yourself because your perspective could be the wrong one. So it's good to have someone to talk to, and that's where a coach comes in, and I'm here to do that with any of you guys. If you're always finding yourself in an argument, you're always finding yourself in this debate with your partners, with your friends, with your family, go to someone to get some help to help you process what's happening in your reactions, and they can help you learn how to respond. Because there are other perspectives outside of your own. And for us to only think that our way is the only way and the only right way, no. You'll always be reacting because you'll always feel you have to defend yourself when you don't. You set the tone. You set the temperature for the rooms and the places that you walk into. You do not have to adapt to anything else. You bring love, you bring light, you bring maturity to any room that you step in. When you learn to process, when you learn to respond and not react, that's what you do. Giving yourself room to process allows you the moment to let positivity impact the situation, okay? Response leaves people whole, and reaction, you don't leave them whole, and that's not cool. Reaction will have everybody feeling broken, confused, and hurt at the end. But when you respond with love, you respond with clear thought, you respond with the saying that this can get better, this can change. Everybody, including yourself, leaves whole, leaves knowing this is going to get better, leaves knowing that everybody is on the same page when it comes to evolution and moving forward. But reaction, everybody's like, wow, what the heck just happened? Everybody's broken. Like, does she need help or do I need it? It leaves everybody in disarray. So we're going to start doing what? Responding instead of reacting. When we start responding, we can realize that is constructive. When we react, it is destructive. So do we want to build or do we want to tear down? Do we want to leave a negative impact or do we want to leave a positive one? If you want to leave a positive impact, I dare you to respond. Reaction is impulsive. Response is thoughtful. Reaction is in the moment thinking, and responding is future forward thinking. Reaction is overly emotional, and response is patient and it's kind. That's why I choose response over reaction. Because I'd rather leave a person whole and feeling loved and seen than them feeling small and unseen. Who wants to do that? So lead with love, y'all, and respond. Try. Unlearn the things we were taught and learn a new way of standing up for yourself, which is leading in love and saying everything you need to say, almost like a mom. You know how moms get us together real quick, but they leave us feeling seen. You saw me and you checked me, but I'm leaving here knowing how to be better. And that's the way we need to be with everyone around us. Okay? So, responding allows us to have better communication. Responding promotes personal growth. Responding allows us to maintain control of our emotions and not let them get all out of place. We're in control of our actions. We control everything rather than letting our emotions get the best of us, okay? We are in control. And when you start responding, that control increases, okay? Responding can lead to positive outcomes. If you want to see everything around you change for the better, I dare you to start responding. I dare you. You will see it. You will see it. And people will leave whole from your presence. They'll know when you walk in the room, maturity just arrived. If you're in a meeting and everybody's feeling the pressure of what's happening because somebody made a bad mistake or the team didn't get something together, you know for a fact when you walk in the room, Joy gonna help us get this together, and Joy gonna set the temperature, and everybody that had anxiety won't have it after she say what she say. Be the light. Be the person that responds and not the person that reacts. Okay? And leaders, this was for my leaders. People who are over groups and over people and all those things. We react, because I'm a part of this group as creatives. I'm a part of this group. We react often because every day we get a new idea, right? And all of our ideas come from God. They're God-given ideas. And when God gives us these ideas, we get excited and we react. We get excited and we react. 9 times out of 10, we don't write them down, let them sit, let's pray about it. We normally just react and go for it. We go tell our team, we're about to do this whole new thing, not realizing that our team is like, what are you talking about? We know you got this idea from God, but wait a minute. There's a process, and we as creatives normally just be like, no, that's the idea, let's get it done. And I am here to tell you that is reaction. And as creatives, we got to start responding. How can I respond in that way? You get the God-given idea, you write it down in your journal, because we get 70 ideas a day. Let's be real. We get 70. And we got a whole team of people that are already working on the first 70 things that we already asked them to do. Okay? So creators, what we're going to do is we're going to get us an idea journal. And we're going to write these ideas down as God gives them to us. And we're going to get excited about these ideas, because I've learned as a creative, every idea that God gave me wasn't meant for me to share with the atmosphere or the universe or put it out yet. And I did too soon. Okay, that was reaction. Response is taking that idea that God gave you, writing it down, sitting with it, and knowing that in time we will get to these things. Because that impulse reaction may feel like it's supposed to happen now, when no, relax. Sit with it, process it, give it time to grow. Okay? That's for my creatives, because I know we get a lot of things that we want it done now. But no, let it process. Let it simmer a little. Let it simmer a while. It's going to be good in the end. I promise you. And some of those ideas we don't even need to tackle. Let's be real. So we could just cross them out as we go. And we show everybody when it's time to show them, okay? Give your team a break. Okay, guys? I love each of you. And I'm saying all this in love. So let's go from the top. We're going to respond and not react. We're going to slow down. We're going to make sure in a heated moment that we take a moment to retreat. Think about it. Pause, look at the situation for what it really is. And if we need to go talk to somebody before we go back and tackle it, do that so we can get a sound mind on the problem. Because when we're reacting, our minds aren't clear. It's not a clear thought. It's an emotional thought. So we're going to get some advice. We're going to go get a soundboard. We're going to bounce some ideas off and perspectives, and we're going to get a good outcome so we can tackle and address and approach the problem the best way. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give ourselves room to process. We're not going to react and be impulsive, and we're going to not let our emotions control us. We will control our emotions. We will understand that reaction is destructive and response is constructive. And we'll know the difference. You got to find the truth, sit with your emotion, dissect it before you react. Okay? Find the truth, sit with your emotion, dissect it before you react. Because you'll do something that you'll regret, and you may mess up a relationship that was supposed to be a great relationship for you by saying one word that you didn't even mean. So let's keep control. So when we respond, we get better communication. When we respond, we grow personally. When we respond, we get control and maintain control over our actions. And responding can only lead to positive outcomes for you. Okay? So remember this before y'all go. That y'all are light to the world. You are salt to this world. So every time you get the chance to show up, be that example of love, be that example of patience and stillness. Be the calm that people look for. Because it's you. That's what we came here to do. Just be love and be light. Okay? If you need any help getting to this point in your journey where joy, I want to respond more than I react, and you just need somebody to talk to, I'm here. Go to creativeenergy.life and book a session with me today, and I can help you get those emotions under control. Because we loving people in this time. Everybody needs to be loved, and I want to help you be one of those people that loves on everybody, okay? Including yourself, okay? So we're going to slow down, and we're not going to react. We're going to respond, okay? If this video has helped you today, please leave me a comment, send me an email, do something, let your girl know. And I hope that today is a beautiful day for you, okay? Peace.